It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Lamon, feel free to go forward. I'll go ahead and introduce yourself and then take it from there.
Yeah, my name is Lamon Woods, out of Monroe, Louisiana. Real estate investor. Me and my wife, Alicia Woods, we own Woods Family Estates, LLC. And our business model is basically going in and buying properties undervalued, below market value, fixing them up and renting them out and receiving monthly cash flow. So that's kind of been our business model. And since the last time that I did the podcast with Sam, I appreciate the opportunity for having me on tonight and for the podcast and opportunities. Me and my wife had bought more doors. We bought our first small multifamily apartment building, a 4-unit. That was a big deal for us because in our market, it's not a lot of multifamilies unless you buy big apartment buildings. And that was about colleges and stuff like that. So they ran them off for sale. Right now, it's a lot of new construction going on now for investors getting multifamily because we just don't have that inventory like that being in a small market like Louisiana. And we bought more doors and we bought our own office and commercial. We bought 2 commercial buildings, man. So we just been scaling and growing. We got more help on for us, like in-house property manager, and my dad was able to bring my dad on full time and pay him like a full-time job, and my uncle, and just growing. We got some deals on the contract now, and just trying to get to the next deal and continue to grow and take it from there, man. So that just been me and my wife business model for the last couple of years. We kind of transitioned since the COVID happened. We lost some money. We lost a lot of money, so we transferred. We started doing more Section 8. We started getting the guaranteed rent checks. And then we also stepped into, I've been doing a lot of lease to purchase where the tenant, we give them the option to buy. They put a down payment down. They paying us monthly payments and we holding the note for 20 years. And we playing the bank. So now that cuts down on our maintenance because now we own so many properties. We on the road to 100 doors now. So it's kind of like, the maintenance and all this stuff, it kind of picks up and stuff like that, the turnover. When you buy low income properties and stuff like that there. So that's what we kind of been at, man. Just growing and continue to scale. But we have kind of shifted our business model and different things like that to kind of secure our investments a little bit. So that's kind of like my little spiel on it. And I'll wait for you, Sam, where you want me to start at.
So I guess first, it will be great to learn about how you find deals, because a lot of people, they want to get into real estate, they don't know how to find deals, or maybe they only know one way how to find deals. So I guess if you could talk us through like the different ways that you tend to find your best deals.
Man, one of the I have did a lot of stuff. I have did bandit signs. I have did direct mail before, and I bought some properties. I did bandit signs and direct mail, bandit signs. But one of the best ways I like to tell people, man, is networking, man. Join networking, like you join your local landlord club, or if you pass by and see guys working on houses and you get out and say, hey, who's the owner? Are you the owner? Or who you guys are working for or working with? And just knowing people and networking, man, I really got my best deals. And I really got my best deals from networking and word of mouth, man. People don't understand how powerful word of mouth is. By people knowing what you do and stuff like that, networking has been a big deal. So I say my best deals come from just networking. Because when you join the local real clubs, you join a club with guys that's big investors, right? And big investors, and now some of those guys are scaling down with the COVID and everything going on. So by you knowing those guys, they'll call you first and see a young coming up investor, and they'll be like, hey, I got this deal for sale. That's how we was able to get the first 4-unit apartment building. The guy I spoke about on your podcast, Scooter, that's like a mentor to me. That's who I bought that deal from, So like networking and word of mouth is a big deal, man. So all those strategies work, but I just think networking is and word of mouth is pretty big, man. So that's kind of where all my deals have come from.
Definitely. Someone asked, what is a bandit sign?
Bandit sign is basically, a Search Speedy or a Vista Print. They got signs that say, you see them on your local highway, say, we buy houses. In my market, they sell them like 10 for like $100, so it's $10 a piece. And you buy those signs and you just go put them out. If you got properties on the main road, like we do. I put signs in front of those properties like that's on a main road and stuff like that there, because you'll get a lot of traffic and stuff like that. And or you put them on, you see them on the light poles, the highways. You just see them all over town, abandoned signs. And that's another way to find deals too, by calling those abandoned signs, those wholesalers. Some of those guys are wholesalers transitioning over to investors. So they have properties or they always looking for buyers. So when you ride down the street, sometimes you see the abandoned sign, just call it, just write it down and just start calling all them numbers and say, hey, I'm an up-and-coming investor looking to grow my company. If you get some deals, give me a call. You know, that's free. And you tell them to give you a call. And that's, again, it's called networking, about who you know, and you building a relationship. So once they send a deal out to their buyer and they don't buy it, now guess who the next can be in line to be one of the next contacts? You, because you picked up the phone when you seen that bandit sign and made a call. So that's a pretty good way to do it.
Definitely, that makes sense.
So yeah, and
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, so man, yeah, but I just want people to know, like, word of mouth and networking, how powerful that is, man. Like, you get a lot of deals. It's about who you know. You know, you join them real clubs, you talking to them investors, and they got 100 doors, 200. You like, man, who loaning you all that money, right? So they start telling you about their success, the bankers that they working with, or private lenders. It's like a podcast. It's free gems, free information. And you take some of those guys to lunch and you spend $20 on y'all lunch. Now you are accessing $1 million worth of gain. That's what I used to do. Is the best $20 I spent in my life. So just the power of relationships and networking and stuff like that. You can find it on Google, your local real meetup. You can find it on Facebook, especially Facebook. A lot of local clubs got Facebook page. Like in my area, it's a Need a Landlord page, where we got a Facebook page with the tenants not to rent to, what's going on with the laws, is eviction court open, and just a lot of different things that they post on that page. And sometimes you have investors even posting deals for sale and stuff like that. So the deals is in the power of networking, though. Like, you'll get, because you'll be the first hand of contact, and you can develop a relationship with a realtor as well. Like, find you a realtor. It's okay to cash up them $100 and say, hey, send me some of those pocket listings before they hit the market. It ain't gonna hurt you. You know, you spend $100 on BS sometime, you know, send that money out and get a return. Now he say, hey, look, I got an investor, they moving out of town, they want to sell their house, or they got some rental properties, they stay all the way in California and they just tired of dealing with it in Louisiana. And now you have access to that because you just sent her $100, or you sent her $20, or you took them to lunch. So now you have access to the network and access to the deals and stuff like that. So it's just things like that is important. Also, bankers, building a relationship with bankers as well. For the first time, I got a deal last week that I didn't purchase the deal, but I learned something. So a buddy of mine, he sent me a deal, and it was a bank foreclosure. It was a bank foreclosure. He was like a banker at Marion State Bank that he's cool with, sent it to him. And they wanted like $10,000 for the property. They just wanted the loan on the property, but the properties were worth more than that. So I never experienced about a deal like this. So I asked him, man, how does that work? He was just like, I know the banker. I did business with him for over 10 years. And once he gets stuff like that, they gonna foreclose. Because as an investor, especially if you let your properties go down, the bank don't want your junk. They want your interest payments. They don't want your property back. So if the loan is only 10 grand on it, they sell it at loan cost, but you're talking about buying a $40,000-$50,000 house at $10,000, you know, because of the simple fact the bank just wanted off their books. So that was my first time getting a text like that. And I asked him, hey, how does that work? Who do you reach out to? And he was like, you just call that banker that's controlling the loan on that property, and you just make an offer. You lowball them really low because it's a foreclosure. And he kind of gave me the inside track that they was at 10K. That was the loan balance. But they might say, hey, give me 5K, give me 8K. They just want it off their books because the investor not making his payments anymore. So all those stuff like that, man, you're building out a network of people to help you find your deals and stuff like that there. So that's just some insight on how you find the deals and stuff like that there.
Definitely. Someone said, did he say call? You said to call the banker in that situation, right?
Yeah, the banker that was at Marion State Bank that has the loan on his books for their property. He told me to give him a call and stuff like that and see, make him an offer, because he's the one that controlled the loan from the investor on that property. So I learned something that day because I never bought a door like that. So I never bought a door like that. And And another thing, all my deals, I've only bought out of all the properties me and my wife own, I only bought one off the MLS. And it was a property, a home with a trailer on the same lot. But the way to find the best deals is, man, off-market deals by networking, talking to people. And my strategy has always been tired landlords. So I find a tired landlord, you know, I find a tired landlord, excuse my spelling. And then what I do is I research them on the local tax assessor website. I find a tired landlord, say somebody that's it's called mom and pop. And what I do is I find the address, I find this mom and pop landlord, and what they are non-LLC. They own a bunch of properties, so I put multiple. They own multiple properties, but they don't have an LLC. So what that tells me is they're not up to standards. They from back in the days, and especially they purchased it like over 2005 and on back, I know like they not up with what's going on because they're not business minded because they don't have their properties in the LLC. And so what I do is I go out to after those people because those are likely the most highly people to sell because of they are tired landlords. They on their way of retirement. They don't got their properties in the LLC, so they're not running it like a business. They don't got a property manager. They don't got a handyman. They always look for people to fix stuff. So they're just tired landlords, in my opinion. And all our doors have came from an investor or a friend of mine, a tired landlord. This has been my number one marketing tool, find a tired landlord. And what you do when you find a tired landlord is, so me and my wife meet somebody, they see themselves in us 20 years ago, right? Oh, y'all young, y'all doing this. I'm 32, you know, so they like, man, so now guess what that does, Sam? That gives you the discount and that gives you access. So now they like, you know what, brother, I want to help you out. I want to see you do good in life. So now they might have wanted $40,000 for their property. Now you go in there and say, man, I can't do this, but I can come back with a $25,000 cash offer and we can close in a week. Because you can't say the words contract and all that and stuff like that to the older people. Because that scares them. They like, I don't know. So you just say, I got a simple one-page purchase agreement and we can sign this. I can drop it off with my local title company and we can set it up and get ready to close the deal. And tired landlords, man, that have been the number one strategy. When I used to drive for dollars is you riding around and you find abandoned properties with high grass, a mailbox full of busted windows, you know, a property that just looked like a beater that just haven't been taken care of and neglected for years. And so you write that address down, you go on your local tax assessor website, and you pull up that person name, say that person's name is Doug. Then you pull up, you type in his actual name, you realize, man, Doug owns 10 more properties. So now Doug owns 10 more properties, but you realize Doug don't have his properties in the LLC. So now in my mind, I'm thinking Doug is a tired landlord. He's a landlord that's on his back end of retirement and stuff like that. So, and that's how I've been able to scale the way I scale by off the market deals and stuff like that. Because I'm in a small area and it's hard to just go on the MLS or go on Craigslist and some of Zillow, Realtor.com and Trulia, some of that stuff and just find a deal. Every now and then, but you got to think about how many people are going to be on that deal. So just by tapping in with those tired landlords that owns multiple properties, and once you find a 10 landlord, you say Doug owns 10 properties. You ask Doug, hey, you want to sell all 10? And now that's what you call a package deal. You got a package deal now because he owned 10. Now you bought him a package.
Hi, everyone. Sam here from Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.